Okay, picture this. You're working as a janitor your whole life, quietly sweeping floors, and then, surprise, you leave behind $8 million when you die. Wait, what? How does that even happen? And what does it say about how we think about money?
8 million bucks from sweeping floors? I mean, I can barely keep my coffee budget under control, let alone build a secret fortune. But that's what makes today's episode so wild. Money isn't just about math. It's about our brains, our habits, and, honestly, sometimes our weirdest impulses.
I'm Maya, and I still get nervous checking my bank app. But seriously, the psychology of money is all about how our behaviors, not our IQ, shape our financial lives. And if you've ever made a late-night Amazon purchase you instantly regretted, you're in the right place.
And I'm Dax. True story, I once tried to impress a date by ordering a fancy bottle of wine, only to realize it cost more than my entire grocery budget for the month. Spoiler, didn't get a second date. But that's the thing. Money decisions are rarely logical. They're emotional, messy, and sometimes hilarious in hindsight.
So, let's kick this off with Ronald Reed, the janitor with the secret millions. He wasn't a Wall Street wizard. He just saved a little, invested in boring blue-chip stocks, and waited. Decades later, he left millions to his local hospital and library. Meanwhile, Harvard-educated finance pros like Richard Fuscone went bankrupt living in mansions with 11 bathrooms. Because, you definitely need 2 pools and 7 garages to survive.
It's wild, right? You'd never see a janitor outperform a top surgeon or architect. But in money, behavior trumps credentials. It's not just about knowing what to do, it's about actually doing it. Like, you can read every finance book in the world, but if you panic and sell at the bottom of a bear market, all that knowledge goes out the window.
And I love how the book says, no one's crazy. We all do weird stuff with money because our experiences are so different. If you grew up during inflation, you see risk totally differently than someone who's only known stable prices. I mean, my grandma still hides cash under her mattress because she lived through a bank collapse. Meanwhile, I'm over here Venmoing $5 for pizza.
Exactly. And then there's luck and risk. Bill Gates going to one of the only high schools with a computer, which set him up for Microsoft. But his friend Kent Evans? Equally brilliant, but he died in a mountaineering accident as a teenager. Same odds, totally different outcomes. So when we look at success, we gotta remember, it's not just hustle. Sometimes it's right place, right time. Or, unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, and then there's the whole never enough thing. Like, remember the story about the billionaire who made more in a day than Joseph Heller did from Catch-22? Heller just shrugs and says, yeah, but I have something he'll never have. Enough. I mean, how often do we move the goalpost? I get a raise, and suddenly my coffee order gets fancier. It's a trap.
And when you chase more without stopping, you risk everything. Rajat Gupta had $100 million, then risked it all for a shot at being a billionaire. Bernie Madoff was already rich, but that wasn't enough. It's like, at some point, you gotta ask, what am I really after? Status? Security? Or just the thrill of the chase?
And speaking of chasing, let's talk about compounding. Warren Buffett's fortune isn't just about being a great investor. It's about being a great investor for 75 years. Like $81 billion of his wealth came after his 65th birthday. Basically, the secret is shut up and wait. Which is so hard, right? I can't even wait for my cookies to cool.
You and your cookies. But seriously, compounding is like magic. It's not about hitting home runs every year. It's about staying in the game. That's why the book says getting wealthy and staying wealthy are 2 different skills. Getting wealthy? Take risks. Be optimistic. Staying wealthy? Be humble, be a little paranoid, and don't bet the farm on a hot tip from your cousin Steve.
Okay, so real talk. How can people actually use this? Like, what's the move when you're in a meeting or scrolling Instagram and you see someone flexing with a new car or a giant house? How do you not get sucked into that comparison trap?
First, remind yourself, wealth is what you don't see. That person with the Ferrari, they might be broke or just have $100,000 less than yesterday. Real wealth is the money you keep, not the stuff you show off. So next time you feel that envy spike, just picture Ronald Reed quietly chopping firewood, not showing off, and out-saving everyone in the room.
All right, pop quiz time. Don't worry, we won't grade you. Much. Imagine you get a $5,000 bonus. Do you A, blow it on a new gadget, B, invest it and forget about it, or C, hide it under your mattress like my grandma? Think about it for a sec.
This one got me thinking. Honestly, my first instinct used to be, ooh, let's upgrade my phone. But after reading all these stories, I'd probably invest most of it. Maybe keep a little for a treat. Because, as the book says, savings isn't just for a goal. It's a hedge against life surprising the heck out of you.
If you picked A, hey, no shame, we've all done it. But if you went with B, you're playing the long game. And if you picked C, well, at least you'll be ready for a zombie apocalypse. The point is, there's no perfect answer. But knowing why you make the choice, that's the real win.
If you forget everything else, just remember this. Money is a tool to buy freedom, not just stuff. The ability to wake up and say, I can do what I want today. That's the highest form of wealth. Not the car, not the house, but control over your own time.
Okay, you know what time it is. Life lesson of the week. Dax, you're up. Hit us with your wisdom. Preferably something embarrassing.
Oh, you want embarrassing? Here goes. I tried to impress my niece by showing her how to save money. I proudly opened my app, only to realize I'd spent $60 on novelty socks. She just looked at me and said, "That's okay, Uncle Dax. At least your feet are happy." My lesson? Don't beat yourself up for small splurges. It's about the big habits, not being perfect every day.
That hit me, honestly. Mine's kind of similar. I spent way too much time this week comparing myself to friends online. New jobs, new houses, you name it. But then I remembered, nobody posts their credit card bill. My takeaway? Focus on your own journey. The only person you need to impress is future you.
All right, before we let you go, vocab check. Don't worry, this is the fun part. Maya, hit us with the first term.
All right, compounding. That's when your money earns returns, and then those returns earn returns, and so on. Like a snowball rolling down a hill. Small at first, then massive. Or like my cookie cravings, honestly.
Next up, margin of safety. That's your room for error, the buffer that keeps you from disaster when things go sideways. It's like bringing an umbrella even if the forecast says just a 10% chance of rain. Or, keeping cash in the sock drawer. Callbacks!
And finally, enough. Not just getting by, but knowing when to stop moving the goalpost. Like, if you're always chasing more, you'll never feel satisfied. So define your enough and protect it.
Seriously, thank you for hanging with us. If you learned something, drop a comment, subscribe, and tell us your life lesson of the week. Remember, money is personal, and we're all figuring it out together. See you next time.